Right now at 10, a live look at the White House. President Donald Trump's first day filled with pomp pardons. And the Arctic air holding on. But a warm-up is on the way, the latest from our First Warn weather team. Plus, people around the Coulee region celebrate the legacy of Martin Luther King Jr.
You're watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now at 10.
Good evening and thank you for joining us for News 8 Now at 10. I'm Emily Brown. Ken is off tonight. Well, a below zero day we had here in the region, and with more of the same come tomorrow, Greg.
Well, at least for most of the day we'll be below zero, but we are going to be coming up above, but not until probably till tomorrow afternoon or evening for most locations. So we still got the alert day conditions for wind chill, especially tonight through tomorrow morning. That could be as low as 40 below. Coldest spots will be likely the areas that still have snow cover, including Rusk County, and that includes Ladysmith too. Overall, frostbite will be still in that 10 to 30-minute range where you could see exposed skin freeze. Otherwise, this should be the last really full day we see those types of wind chill. Overnight lows will get into the 20 below where snow cover exists. Potentially could see an outside shot of some of those areas up there, maybe 30 below, but most other areas will be in the teens to 20 below where no snow cover covers. Now we will have lighter winds going on, but the wind chills right now should be in that 25 to 30 degree, and then as we wake up overnight, they're going to be in 35 to potentially 40 below in a few locations for the morning commute. That wind won't be as strong, but the temperatures are colder tonight, and that's why the wind chill is a little bit lower than we've had lately. Now overall, if we plan out, we're looking at temperatures getting up to just -2 La Crosse. Plenty of sunshine though, and look at the winds. They're turning around to southwest, which indicates we do have another system approaching. So temperatures only -7 by 12, but wind chills will continue. Now later on, we do have that warm up. It will take in probably Tuesday night, and we might have a little bit of snow going on, and I'll break all that down a bit later in the broadcast.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you, Greg. Police identifying the victim in a weekend shooting death. The victim is 42-year-old Justin Betts. Police say the shooting suspect is 28-year-old Cody Allen, who's in custody. Investigators say the shooting happened on the 1800 block of George Street. Betts was found with gunshot wounds and died on the scene. The shooting reportedly stemmed from an argument. The City of La Crosse's Emergency Warming Day Center remains open. It's at the La Crosse Public Library on Main Street. Community members seeking refuge from the severe cold are welcome there. It's open till this evening, and it will also be open on Tuesday from 8 until noon. Well, the extreme cold can take a toll on farm animals. News 8 Now's Allison Fergit has a look at how one farm is keeping cows safe.
On a dairy farm, there are no days off, even when it's freezing. Like all of us, Wisconsin's dairy cows are dealing with the extreme cold. While their higher natural body temperature makes them better equipped to deal with frigid weather, they still need a little extra help. Sabrina Service, a dairy farmer on her family farm, says they usually go through about 60,000 pounds of feed a day. But to make sure the cows have the calories they need to stay warm and produce milk, they've upped the daily feed an additional 10,000 pounds. At the Service family farm, there are no heaters in the main barn. They're keeping it locked up tight to keep the cold out. But in conditions like this, milk production dips.
It's one of those times a year where you just hunker down, hope for the best, and we just have to brace for impact and do what we can, do what we've always done, and weather out this bad weather.
The Service farm is organic, and they let their cows out to pasture as often as possible. Right now, Service says the cows would only be outside for an hour max. There are around 375 cows here at the Service family farm, so a lot to take care of. Reporting at the Service family farm, Allison Fergit, News 8 Now.
And because of the cow's body heat, they can withstand temperatures below 20 degrees before feeling any stress from the cold. And a reminder, you can track weather on your block by downloading the First Warn Weather app. You can find it at the App Store or on Google Play. Well, in the first day of his presidency, Donald Trump signed executive orders that he says will bring America into the golden age. Several orders reflect promises made during his campaign, including changing the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America and ending taxes on tips. He also signed orders to withdraw the U.S. from the World Health Organization and delayed the TikTok ban for 75 days. The nation's capital is the scene of parties and balls tonight following the second inauguration of President Donald Trump. CBS's Erica Brown has more from Washington.
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear.
President Donald Trump began his second term at 12:01 p.m. inside the U.S. Capitol building. The 78-year-old is the oldest president to take the oath of office. His vice president, J.D. Vance, became one of the youngest vice presidents ever.
So help me God.
With every living president in attendance, Trump condemned the past 4 years.
America's decline is over.
And promised to usher in a new golden age of America by drastically remaking government.
I will declare a national emergency at our southern border. We will tariff and tax foreign countries to enrich our citizens.
Following the inauguration, there was a peaceful transfer of power, traditions that did not take place 4 years ago when a defiant Trump departed Washington early. The temperatures outside forced inauguration events inside. The last time that happened was President Ronald Reagan's second inauguration in 1985. 20,000 supporters watched the event, an inaugural parade inside a Washington, D.C. arena. The families of several Israeli hostages held by Hamas were also in attendance.
So I'm going to go right over to here and I'm going to sign in front of you. Is that okay? Good.
The president then signed a flurry of executive orders, reversing 78 Biden-era policies and withdrawing from the Paris Climate Treaty. Later from the Oval Office, he declared a national emergency at the southern border and signed an executive order attempting to end birthright citizenship. He also pardoned approximately 1,500 January 6 defendants, including the former leader of the Proud Boys, Enrique Tarrio.
What they've done to these people is outrageous.
The Department of Prisons has been ordered to immediately release them, and many supporters gathered Monday outside a D.C. jail. Erica Brown, CBS News, Washington.
Tonight, the Senate confirmed Marco Rubio as Secretary of State. It came only hours after President Donald Trump's inauguration. Rubio, the former Republican senator from Florida, becomes the first cabinet official for the new Trump administration to be Senate approved. The former senator will be sworn in Tuesday morning, adding his first priority will be foreign policy. President Joe Biden today issuing a flurry of preemptive pardons. They were for several members of his family, Dr. Anthony Fauci, General Mark Milley, and Liz Cheney. Pardons were also given to members of Congress who investigated the Capitol attack. The pardons came hours before Trump was sworn in. Wisconsin Supreme Court candidate Judge Susan Crawford met with voters in Richland Center and Viroqua tonight. Crawford has served as a prosecutor, private attorney, and as a judge. She says she is running her campaign on common sense and justice for all.
I am going to be a fair, impartial justice. I use common sense in making decisions, and I'm going to uphold our laws and uphold our Constitution and make sure everyone's rights are protected.
The Wisconsin Supreme Court race will be on the spring election ballot on April 1st. The 2025 Martin Luther King Jr. Community Celebration was held at Viterbo University today. The celebration honors the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. while aiming to educate, inspire, and encourage communities to work together to eliminate racism and oppression. The MLK Jr. Leadership Award is presented to an individual who demonstrates a commitment to enhancing diversity. Henry Greengrass was this year's recipient for his work with the indigenous communities of La Crosse. He says winning the award means a lot to him because it gives him a platform to continue to do his work.
Our history is not taught within schools, and I've mentioned before that Ho-Chunk history is La Crosse history, but a lot of people don't realize that. Ho-Chunk history is Wisconsin history. Ho-Chunk history is United States history.
The MLK Jr. Leadership Award was established in 2009. Well, the Onalaska School District also spent the holiday volunteering around the community. In partnership with Great Rivers United Way, over 60 volunteers from the district were working with various area nonprofits. They worked on a total of 11 projects and contributed approximately 145 hours of volunteer time.
It's so meaningful to us. We're so thankful. We got a lot of things here, a lot of jobs, a lot of tasks. So to have people come in and spend their time to give back to our program is super meaningful.
And if you're looking for volunteer opportunities, you can check out Great River United Way's You Get Connected platform. We have that link on our digital platforms. New requirements for travelers, what you need to know if you're planning a trip abroad. Up next.
Winter is here, and with winter weather come accidents and mishaps. Whether you're on your way to work, walking the dog, or out on the trail, accidents can happen.
At Bygoff and Rohde, we help you get the settlement you deserve to put your life back on track.
You're young, but your bathroom is old. I get it. I visit my kids, grandkids, my precious great-grandkids. Doesn't fit their lifestyle. Not safe. Old and ugly. You will be amazed at the transformation you can make in just a few days. New tub and shower with all new fixtures, new toilet, new sink and vanity, new flooring, at an investment much less than you might think. Call the Board Store Home Improvements today for a prompt free estimate on your new bathroom.
T-Mobile is very reliable.
It's always nice to know that T-Mobile has us covered.
I love the fact that my family and I, we can stay connected just about anywhere we want to go.
My network is my lifeline.
T-Mobile keeps you connected on America's largest and fastest 5G network. Right now, switch and keep your phone. We'll pay it off up to $800. See how you can save on every plan versus Verizon and AT&T at T-Mobile.com/keep-and-switch.
When you're dealing with your own insurance company, you may think that they're on your side, but the truth is, they're not. They're only concerned about their bottom line. That's why you need to hire Bygoff and Rohde. We get results.
Well, if you're planning a trip to Europe this year, there are new visa requirements for travelers. In today's Consumer Watch, Jen Sullivan explains what you need to know before your flight.
Heading to Europe this year, there are some big changes that travelers need to be aware of. As of January 8th, Americans traveling for less than 6 months to or through the United Kingdom, that includes England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland, will need what's known as an electronic travel authorization. It's basically a digital registration to get into the UK.
That is something that you apply for with the UK government, gov.uk.
All U.S. citizens traveling, even children under 18, need to apply through the UK government website or through the app on their website. You'll need to upload a photo of your passport, as well as a photo of yourself, and answer various questions about your trip. It takes about 20 minutes to complete. There's also a fee. It costs £10, which is roughly $12.25, depending on the exchange rate. Travelers must fill it out and pay for the ETA before their trip. It takes about 3 days to be approved, but UK officials warn it could take longer.
Once you're approved, it's good for 2 years, so you don't have to keep filling out the form.
So what happens if you forget to fill it out?
There is a chance that you will not be allowed in the country.
Later this year, the European Union will also be rolling out new travel forms. It's called ETIAS. When those go into effect, they will cost about $7.70.
You need to just account for that when you're putting together your budget for your big European vacation, and understand that as time goes on, more and more countries are going to require them, and those seemingly small fees can certainly add up.
For Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
Costco is facing a potential strike. Workers are preparing for a potential strike at the company's warehouses in 5 states. Members of the Teamsters Union authorized a strike unless they get a new contract. Their current one expires on January 1st. Workers are asking for better wages and benefits. New fire warning issues in Southern California. What's prompting the Storm Prediction Center to issue its highest warning level after the break?
Definitely have one more day of frigid temperatures, and then we do return to more seasonal conditions, but that also comes with a little bit of chance of some snow. We'll break down what the wind chills look like going for tomorrow evening and how much snow we might get through Wednesday. That all coming up on your First Warn Weather Update after the break.
Ford family of SUVs, proud sponsor of winter. Now, get up to $4,000 in total cash on a 2024 Ford Escape. Only at your local Northland Ford dealers.
It's so cold.
I guess I should have called G&T Heating before the furnace went bad. Quite silly, really, with all the things that can go bad with a furnace. Plug vent, rust buildup, dirty flame sensor, the filter. Should have called G&T sooner.
My fingers are freezing. They're numb.
Oh, take my extra pair of gloves.
Extra gloves?
Attention business owners. Start 2025 confidently with Your Choice Roofing, your trusted partner for commercial roofing solutions. Our expert craftsmanship and premium materials ensure a roof that stands the test of time. Don't wait. Our schedule is filling up fast. Get ahead of the rush and secure your spot now to protect your building and your bottom line. Visit yourchoiceroofing.com today to get started.
Signs build brands, create impact, and grab attention. Signorama Lacrosse is your full-service sign center. We use the latest technology and highest quality products to produce custom signs, vehicle wraps, banners, wall murals, window graphics, and trade show displays. Signorama Lacrosse Design Services will help create the perfect sign to advertise your product or business. We can custom make any type of sign, including box signs, channel letters, custom logos, digital graphics, and directory signs. Signorama Lacrosse, locally owned, globally known. Proper installation of your new windows make a difference. The team at Clear Choice Window and Home Solutions are factory trained to make sure your windows are installed to last. Call or stop into the showroom for your free estimate.
The news continues on News 8 Now. Expect more.
People in Southern California are bracing for another Santa Ana wind event. This event has the potential to be even more impactful as it could bring with it some of the driest air of the season. The Storm Prediction Center has issued their highest level fire threat. The winds are expected to peak tonight and last until Tuesday morning. However, the winds could last through midweek. Well, we've also had some wind up here, but not quite as strong, and there's a potential for some snow. Let's send it over to Greg for the latest.
Yeah, it's all tied to the pattern we're in with the jet stream really far to the south. And these are all the cold weather alerts that are across the part of eastern U.S. because of the Arctic air that's all the way down to the Gulf of Mexico right now. But you can see there's this pattern also produces winds that come out of the northeast. And that's why they get the Santa Ana coming over the mountain range, descending, dries it out. And they get these events quite often in this pattern. It's more La Nina type. So while we get cold conditions out here and fairly dry, they also get dry, but the jet stream comes around the other direction. So it's all tied together that we're getting that, and they're also getting the Santa Ana type events. Average high right now, we should be in the mid-20s. This is the time of year where the coldest is, where the average high is the lowest, and we will get back to this. But you got to wait till about Wednesday till we see it. So overall, we're not going to see it. But the wind chill's going on tonight, as I mentioned earlier in broadcast, will probably be into that 35 to 40 below range as we go through the morning commute locations. The wind is not going to be as strong. It's the combination that the temperature is lower than we've seen previous nights, and that's why we're going to get those wind chills going on. You can see we're generally in a 30 to 35. There's some outside areas that are 35 to 40. It will begin to modify a little bit, but probably not too much until we get to noon. Then we'll start seeing them come up a little bit, and even in the afternoon, they're still going to be kind of around 15 to 20 because the wind is going to start picking up out of the south. We will be above freezing, but it'll probably be not until like 2 to 3 in the afternoon at the earliest. Areas up to the north may not quite get that until the evening because a warm front's going to be approaching. So these temperatures will continue to kind of rise during the evening slowly and then kind of pick up steam as we go throughout the night. We do have clear skies. Temperatures overall will start improving a little in the afternoon, and by the time you get to 4, you're starting to see a lot above zero temperatures besides the north. We got that south wind increasing. Cloud cover will be increasing also during the evening hour. The warm front as it approaches will start producing some light snow, but it looks like it's going to hang off to probably until after 10 because it's going to be so dry at the lower levels here that a lot of this will not reach the ground. But we are going to see that eventually approach the area. It will come through with a warm front potentially late through the early morning commute, although that's going to be spotty. Comes to the south towards 7 to 8. We'll see a little bit of redevelopment there towards late morning, mainly South La Crosse. And then the cold front will come through towards the late afternoon, evening, with maybe a potential for another area of light showers coming through. Could impact the evening commute, but all this is fairly light activity, and amounts would be very light, respecting maybe less than an inch. Some areas up to the north may get a little bit more, but most areas are probably going to be less than a half inch or just a trace with this. But it is an opportunity, and it could impact the commute if at times different. Overall, there you go. And for your high temperatures, we're back to where we should be, even a little bit above as we get to Wednesday. You'll start off Wednesday likely in the teens overnight because it'll rise all the way through the morning and then get back up to the mid-20s, lower 20s to the north. So really more what you would like to see or typically would see in January. The only problem is we do have a little bit of drop in the temperatures come Thursday, and especially Thursday night, I think into Friday, we might see areas go back below zero because that cold front comes through. But we're not going to see anything like we saw that, and we quickly modify those temperatures Friday and the weekend overall. We're kind of back to where we should be, but maybe even a little bit above. So we just got to get through the next 24 hours, and then we're more into the typical January kind of swing we get a little bit with the temperatures.
Yeah.
But overall, it's still very dry forecast, minus a little bit of snow.
And it looks like we have a good amount of sunshine headed our way.
Tomorrow
too.
you definitely will have plenty of it. Thursday, Friday you will too.
That makes a big difference.
It does, definitely does.
All right, thank you, Greg. Coming up next in sports, the Badgers continue to climb up the AP men's basketball rankings. Plus, area athletes showing off their skills at the latest MVC gymnastics meet. That and more next with Jacob.
Here at Maxwell White, we know how valuable your time is. From issues with your hot water to slower clogged drains, our team is always on time with friendly service and solutions you can trust. Don't wait. Contact Maxwell White. Plumbing done right.
We see you out there, giving your whole heart to what you do. That doesn't mean you have to give your whole wallet, too. It's why we make sure that as you find your way, you can find value along the way. Like 50-pound bags of Blaine's Black Oil Sunflower Seed, $19.99. $7 off select Neutrino Loyal Life puppy food. And save $130 on these men's Ariat boots.
That's what I'm talking about.
Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Be an original.
For the professional, it's not enough to possess knowledge. We seek to refine it, to wield its power, to redefine its boundaries. Knowledge is put to the test in every GMC Sierra. Get 0% APR on 2024 Sierra 1500 models. That's over $5,600 in average finance savings.
Visit your best choice GMC dealer today. News 8 Now and Dairyland Power Cooperative present the Community Calendar.
The La Crosse Lions Charity is celebrating Groundhog Day with the best groundhog dinner in La Crosse. A pulled pork dinner and dessert served Monday, February 3rd from 4 to 7 at the Moose Lodge in La Crosse. It's time for the La Crosse Sports Show, featuring boats, RVs, travel, hunting, fishing, ATVs, and more at the La Crosse Center, February 6th through the 9th.
For more information on these events, or if you'd like to submit an event, visit news8000.com.
With a tankless system, you can have unlimited hot water whenever and for however long you need it. Upgrade to a tankless today and never be left without hot water again. Rely on Maxwell White, plumbing done right.
Covering all the exciting action from your community, here's News 8 Now Sports with Jacob Lenzendorf.
With the freezing temperatures outside, a lot of events this evening canceled, but over at Holman High School, we had girls flipping and twisting during an MVC gymnastics meet. Let's go there. Vikings joined by La Crosse, Onalaska, Sparta, and Tomah. First up on the vault was Tomah's Maya Mayer coming down the runway, flying through the air, hits the landing for the Timberwolves' top score. La Crosse's Elena Wagner had a solid night. Here she is on the floor, put together a nice routine. Wagner would finish in 5th in the the all-around. Taking third in the all-around was Onalaska's Eva Dreyer. Here she is on the floor. That was good for a 9.45, the second best floor routine. Sparta's Gabriella Björkman took second in the all-around. Check out the dismount off the beam. Great landing. That was good for a 9.375. And the all-around champion tonight goes to Holman's Katie Lang. Here she is on the vault. That would have her in the top 3 scoring. She had top 3 of the 4 events, totaling up to 36.7. The Vikings would also take first as a team with a score of 138.35. Cochrane Fountain City traveling to GET, not letting a little cold get in the way of some girls hoops. Early in this one, Helene DeJager gets some space on top of the key and connects, helping with the Redhawks staying close in this one. But CFC would pull away. Addie Dwellman stepping through the transition for the lay-in. And then Mackenzie Wenger is going to drive and find Anna Connect, who's going to find Aubrey Smith with a mid-range jumper to keep the offense rolling. Visitors would extend their lead in the second half, and the Pirates get their 9th win of the year, 62-33. Well, back on Saturday, a couple 42-point halves helped the Badgers pass USC as they improved to 5-2 in conference play, capping off a 2-0 week. With the unbeaten week, Wisconsin moved up from 24 to 18 in the latest men's AP poll. Despite Wisconsin's top scorer, John Tonje, not logging a single point, UW was still able to hit 84 points behind 28 from John Blackwell and 18 from Max Klesmit. The Badgers continue their trip out west with a matchup with 12-6 UCLA tomorrow at 8:30. Timberwolves taking on the Grizzlies earlier today. Late first quarter, it's Anthony Edwards doing Anthony Edwards things. Step back is pure. Then the always exciting Ja Morant, this time with a sweet feed to Brandon Clark, who gets the and one. Minnesota was in control for much of this game, but Memphis would make a comeback. There, the rookie Rob Dillingham extends the visitors' lead. But down the stretch, Memphis would convert. Jaren Jackson Jr. with 2 of his 24. And then with time winding down, it's Edwards for the win, but it's off the mark. The Grizzlies would get the win. Let's go to the ice. 2 of the top 4 teams in the Western Conference facing off. First period off the feed. Jake Middleton sending in a wrister to the net for the first goal of the afternoon. Tied at 1 entering the final period. Fantastic stick work by David Jiricek to Yakov Trenyan, who lights the lamp to give the Wild the lead. And moments later, the dagger. Brock Faber lets one rip in front of the net. Wild would beat the Avalanche 3-1. All right, let's check in on the national championship. First quarter, dream start for Notre Dame. Riley Leonard in from the 1, but Ohio State would respond quickly. Some trickery in the backfield leads to Jeremiah Smith walking in to tie things up. Then Ohio State on the doorstep. Again, Quinshon Judkins bouncing it outside, fights his way, and he will get in. Buckeyes would be up 21-7 entering the half. But they aren't called the Fighting Irish for no reason. Riley Leonard to Jaden Greathouse to make it a 1-score game. So OSU needs a conversion, and they go back to the playmaker, Jeremiah Smith. They would tack on a field goal in this one, and the Ohio State Buckeyes are your national champions. So, Emily, the Buckeyes get it done. You used to live in the area, so you know they love their football there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I actually got to see them play in the national championship at Hard Rock Stadium when they went against Alabama. I think that was 2020.
Yeah.
2021, I don't know. But no, they won now, well-deserved. Yeah. I even got a Buckeye cap myself, but I was going for Notre Dame this time. Yes. But good game.
It was a good game. Good comeback from Notre Dame for sure. And I'm not sure if any of us could hit those gymnastics moves. We may have to practice those.
No, maybe off of a diving board or on a trampoline, right?
Exactly. But congrats to those girls. Good work tonight. So.
Exactly. All right, more news right after this.
You can see it. His potential, that is. You see it even when he may not. You see that the things that spark his interest today will in time ignite the things he pursues tomorrow. And ultimately, help him reach new heights. All he needs now is a way to make it happen. We are the Universities of Wisconsin. 13 universities, unlimited opportunity.
At US Cellular, you don't have to choose between a great deal on the phone you want and the phone plan that's right for you. You can get both. 4 free phones of your choice and 4 lines for just $90.
Wow, kids, that's like us not having to choose between tickets to wrestling or that puppet musical.
We want a great phone and a great plan too, don't we, little guy?
Totally.
Get both. 4 free phones of your choice plus 4 lines for $90. No trade-in needed. U.S. Cellular. Built for us.
Built Ford Tough Trucks. Proud sponsor of winter. Now, get over $10,000 in total savings on a 2024 Ford F-150. Only your local Northland Ford dealers.
Welcome to the most honest commercial you've ever seen. Not the cleanest, just the most honest.
Today, we're fixing a home's foundation.
I mean, that is like the most common thing to see in the world.
Pretty common, yeah.
Right.
So it's the soil that's eroding away, causing those cavities, those voids that the foundation then wants to settle into.
And then you guys with your superhero capes show up and fix everything.
Yes, sir.
Get a free and honest inspection with Innovative Basement Authority, a Groundworks company.
Does Random Starship Mortgage sponsor your kids' t-ball team? I doubt it. Firefighters Credit Union is a strong, reliable lender that has been a proud member of the community for nearly a century. Trust Firefighters Credit Union for your next home loan. Call Matt or Troy today.
Everybody's welcome at Firefighters Credit Union.
Expect more from News 8 Now. Thanks for watching.
A heartwarming and heroic story out of Vermont. Chris McRitchie braved a freezing river to rescue a lost dog. It began when he was in a drive-thru when he noticed a dog struggling in the river. He jumped in and was able to grab the dog and lift him up on the ice. He was able to call the dog's owners and reunite them. What a brave guy right there. That is some cold water. And I'm so happy that they got out okay and he was reunited. Whoa. Okay, Greg has another look at your forecast right after this.
You come alive in the dead of winter and start work early on snow days because snowed in is not an option. The Kubota Snow lineup of compact tractors, RTVs, and versatile attachments are built to move, plow, blow, and thrive in the winter. So when the snow falls, you could rise to meet it.
Right now, receive 0% APR for 60 months and up to $2,300 off BX Series tractor packages. Visit any of your local Johnson Tractor dealerships in Menominee, Baldwin, Osseo, and Arcadia.
Wisconsin, one of those places where families spend their winters among frozen lakes and snow-covered hills. With all the fun they're having, it's easy to take for granted how they warm up by the fire or simply adjusting their thermostat. But for some of us, it's not that easy. Some of us need to decide whether to heat or to eat, or to further neglect our basic survival needs. We are working families, elderly, disabled, and veterans, all struggling to pay record heating bills. These dangerous temperatures aren't just uncomfortable for us, they can be deadly. If you are struggling to decide if you can put food on the table or heat your home, please reach out for a hand up. No one deserves to suffer when we can help each other.
Honey, where are the kids?
I put them in the furnace so I could figure out why we don't have any heat.
You did what?
Maybe it's that loose wire.
Maybe it's that plug vent.
Maybe it's the bad igniter.
Maybe it's a dirty flame sensor.
Or maybe...
Why don't we just call G&T Heating and Air Conditioning?
Quality you can count on, experience you can trust.
With over 50 years of combined experience, G&T services residential and commercial customers within 50 miles of West Salem.
T-Mobile is very reliable.
It's always nice to know that T-Mobile has us covered.
I love the fact that my family and I, we can stay connected just about anywhere we want to go.
My network is my lifeline.
T-Mobile keeps you connected on America's largest and fastest 5G network. Right now, switch and keep your phone. We'll pay it off up to $800. See how you can save on every plan versus Verizon and AT&T at T-Mobile.com/keep-and-switch.
All right, really one last cold night, bitterly cold with wind chills potentially as low as 35 to 40 below. But even in the afternoon, as we get closer to zero, we are going to see wind chills still around 15 to 16. And that's because the wind picks out of the south because we have a warm front coming, which will result in rising temps Tuesday night and maybe a little bit of snow.
And you know what? Jacob's heater went out last night.
I hope that gets
so
fixed.
Good luck to you tonight.
Please, thank you.
Thank you for joining us at 10. We'll see you tomorrow.